relax, breathe. It's rest time. A molecule of water, when you remove the forces of spin from it, has a natural angle of repose like that. Skin of meniscus, mass of water, cavitation. Single-sided surface boundary between cavitation and water. So it's not a line, there's no line there. The line is a boundary, it's a surface. The surface is in rotation. And it's because the single-sided surface is in rotation, it expands at a greater rate than the space that can handle. So that the time factor of the k.g.s, the live load electric shock spark of consciousness, is the factor that must break. It's the crack of the whip, if you like. When you crack a whip, there's a sound. This is the crack of the light. There must be space in time. If you see now the two states taking this idea, so we've got the rest time, and so that now start to spin the top of that water molecule. Place the water molecule, see the diagonal line of mass of water one side and wave on the other, and now you can see why it's like this. It's because it's put the forces back in and slowly wind it up, spin it. So if you spin that from that position, you find it's got two centers of rotation. It'll rotate around there with the cavitation on one side and the mass on the other, or it can rotate with the cavitation on the top and the mass on the bottom, because it's just about the vector potential of the light itself. So the vector potential, Victor Levy stuff, he's showing the spark. AB14 is the spark, the force that's separating, lifting. There's a lifting force there. If we choose, why does our choice make a difference? Because our cerebral spinal fluid is 99.5% water. It's the framework of that water that makes all the difference. You have two states. It's a two-state solution: rigid body, spongy form, elastic body. You become rigid body by really knowing who you are. That it's your conscious experience is created in the membrane of compression forces within your cerebral spinal fluid, so that the link to the plenum, the infinite ocean from which our reality is created, is that actually that water, that pure water, exists as that's you. That's your creature, your cerebral spinal fluid that inhabits the ethereal cracks. It's like a feathers. Lay it out. Looks like feathers. That's you. When you look in the mirror, you see the beast. No, that's you. You're the water. But the compression forces allows you to see that you're the water. You see the reflection, the strength of the reflection. And so by knowing that the reflection is the reflection of God, not of you, the ego has been removed. You see that we are one, we are many individual manifestations of a single consciousness. Can you see how simple that is? So by choosing to be positive, to be courageous, and to worship God towards love, we anchor ourselves thinking that in the light. We're thinking in the light because we are made of light. The thought is made of light. We know that. We keep it in the light. Live in the light. Live in the love. If you just let it go, you slide downhill to the mass of the Bose-Einstein condensate, adding to the tipping force at the bottom, and so you've added to the mass of the water. Yes? You don't want to do that. You want to add to the mass of the light. If you add to the mass of the water, the hemisphere goes that way. So our conscious state is reflecting in the state of our planet as a hemisphere of light going around us, and reflecting everything, all the damage we see in the cosmos around us, in our reality that we've created. We create all this damage from our poor behaviour, because it's vector potential is the final choice. So we have a world where the hemisphere of light goes around the centre of bending at the centre of the planet, a time particle. It's parasitic, maintenance, eternal. Yeah, it's hell. When you choose positive, you go to the ring tension state. You're referencing the ring tension. The ring tension is the precessional axis whip of the Euler disk. So the actual crack of consciousness occurs there. Yeah, so that the single-sided surface is greater. It's pi natural. It's the biggest number, forcing itself, but the hemisphere is pi real and pi elastic ratios. So that the pi natural, the golden ratio, 4 over root 5, square root of phi, that number is bigger. And so the expansive force, the crack of the whip, occurs there, that tiny dimension between, greater than the pi real. Yeah, greater than the 2207, that tiny little space is where the crack of the whip, and it lifts the Euler disk, lifts it up from the surface. There's a space, and that's the 137 arc-second space. So that in the state A, when we choose positive vector potential, live in the light, our conscious experiences of courage, God worship, and love, we force that space under the Euler disk precessional axis. We're aware of it, so that the hemisphere of light now is above us as a firmament rolling around with a space underneath that we've created just from our pure conscious thought, living in love. And so we choose to exist in this shed, or we choose to exist in the world of wonder that awaits us. We're currently going through a schizophrenic psychosis, you are, that you need to snap out of and go, all right, it's all right. It's time for a rest. It's rest time. Truly. Yeah, the work is over. We have to work because the system demands it. Yeah, and the system just gives us a narrative to follow in order that we will carry on with the world that it has of darkness. Where we choose negative, we choose Satan, we choose Beelzebub, we choose Lucifer, we choose fear and envy. Fuck fear and envy. Fuck hate. Yeah, choose love. Live in love. Get on with it, please, planet. Yeah, we have the reality mechanism. The mechanism of reality has been discovered. Yeah, can we please get on with the future? I'm fucking really bored. I'm working so hard. Yeah, enough of this. It's playtime. Let the future begin. Fade out.